The UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk says that he's troubled by measures taken to disperse protests against Israel's war on Gaza in universities across the United States. Dozens of protesters have barricaded themselves inside a building at Colombia University in New York. The group has taken over Hamilton Hall, which has a history of student takeovers, including during the Vietnam War. They unfurled a banner calling it Hind's Wall, in memory of a 6-year-old girl killed in Gaza. It came hours after the university started suspending student demonstrators who defied an ultimatum to leave their encampments. Well, in a moment, we'll speak to Shihab Rattansi. We'll have the latest from George Washington University in the US Capitol, where he is. But first, let's speak to Kristen Saloomey. She joins us now from Colombia University in New York, where it all began. Kristen, various universities and schools obviously joining the protest. So what's happening where you are on Tuesday?
Access to the Columbia University campus has been greatly restricted today after the takeover of that building, Hamilton Hall. Now only students who live on campus and essential faculty are being allowed there. No media access. In recent days, there's been limited access for media during certain times to get on the campus, but we're being told that no media will be allowed today due to safety conditions, unless safety conditions on campus change. That said, I've been speaking with one of the student organizers of the encampment, and he says that the mood on campus is quite calm. In fact, he estimates that there's actually more people in the encampment today than there were yesterday, when the word came that the students would be suspended as of 2 p.m. if they did not evacuate their encampment. That just brought out hundreds of supporters, students and teachers surrounding the encampment, protecting the encampment. That continued throughout the day and into the evening, when a separate group of students, and I'm told by this organizer that this group who took over Hamilton Hall is a separate group from the encampment. There were people on board for that. They were protecting the space outside when that happened. And if you see behind me, this is the one gate that's open, and Hamilton Hall is the building behind me. There's one banner hanging out the window that says Free Palestine, as well as other banners on the other side of the building facing the campus.
So what's the police response been to all of this, Kristen?
There is still a fairly heavy police presence outside of the campus. You can see the barricades that were set up behind me. Those were put there by New York police officers. Yesterday, there was a very, very heavy police presence around the campus, including vans and the type of vehicles that would be used to take protesters to be processed were they arrested. And this was fueling the rumors that there would be arrests if the students did not evacuate the area. It didn't happen in the end. The police never did go on campus. They're not on campus now. They're just outside. Clearly, the university does not want a repeat of what happened 2 weeks ago when they sent the NYPD onto the campus to arrest students. That only outraged the student community and brought more supporters out and started this movement that we're seeing nationally at other campuses. And if there's one thing that the faculty of the university agree on, it is that they don't approve of the response that the administration took for its students. The university senate condemned the administration for calling in the NYPD. So clearly, the administration has been reluctant to have a repeat of that, but at the same time, they're facing pressure from their trustees to get this under control before graduation in 2 weeks.
We'll continue to monitor with you what happens through the day at Columbia University. Kristen Saloomey there for us. Thank you. Well, let's head over to the US Capitol now, where Shihab Rattansi is standing by at George Washington University. The past few days, we've been seeing highly well-attended protests, calm and peaceful. Is it still like that, Shihab?
It's remarkably tranquil. So people are just having their breakfasts now, the students. There was a calisthenics session just underway over behind one of those tents over there. Let's talk to one of the student organizers, though. Miriam, it is peaceful here. Is there any indication that that's likely to change now, though? I mean, we know that the authorities at GW, George Washington University, have been calling on the police to crack down, but what's your sense now?
Yeah, so we're not sure exactly what's going to happen here, but what we do know is that we're here fighting for our demands. We're demanding that the university protect pro-Palestinian speech on campus, that they drop all charges against organizers and organizations who are fighting against genocide, that they disclose all investments and endowments, divest from all funds related to Israel, and end all academic partnerships with the Zionist State of Israel. And all we know is that we're going to be here fighting for those demands until they're met, and we're going to keep fighting.
I was going to say, because term is actually ending today, I think, isn't it? So you're going to stay for the foreseeable future?
Yes, we will be staying. We're not going anywhere. Until our demands are met, we are staying.
Now, it's a contrast here, though, to the scenes we're seeing in other campuses around the country. What's going through your mind, though, when you see the police cracking down in Austin or elsewhere with pepper spray and batons? I mean, what do you make of all that?
Yeah, so nowhere is the police keeping us safe. What we've seen here is just an incredible amount of community support. The community is really showing up for each other. We keep each other safe, and we know we cannot trust the police or the university or any other institution to do that for us.
Right. So, I mean, and yet the police say that they're not going to crack down. So, should we conclude from that then that suddenly there's an outpouring of democratic values in the Metropolitan Police Department?
No, I don't think that the concern with optics and removing peaceful protesters is saying anything about how liberal the cops are here. Really, it's just about, it's an optical issue, and we see GWPD, George Washington Police Department, had asked the Metropolitan Police Department to clear this encampment, and they had refused. So we are seeing that the university is pushing for us to be removed because we are being disruptive. We have to be disruptive. There's no business as usual during a genocide.
We've just had another statement from the White House, again, characterizing the protests as anti-Semitic. President Biden, it says, condemns the use of the term intifada and the anti-Semitic slogans that have been thrown around in the last few days. I'm paraphrasing. What do you make of that? And there is this disconnect, isn't there, between what the White House is saying. And in fact, actually, the Democratic Party College Students Association has just come out in favor of the protest. The leadership does seem rather isolated on this.
Yeah, so I think that really our demands are clear. And they have nothing to do with the Jewish people. As a Jew myself, I feel more safe being Jewish here in this encampment than I do outside of this encampment. And that is because everyone here believes in collective liberation for all people. I know that I'm included in that. And just the conflation that we've been seeing between what we're doing with our demands, our anti-Zionist demands, and anti-Semitism is a complete diversion tactic to take the focus away from what's going on in Palestine, the genocide that we've been seeing for over 200 days to the Palestinian people.
Miriam, thank you. Thank you so much. So yes, all quiet here, as we've said, though, not for want of trying on the part of the administrators. So we will see how this does pan out. As always, these things can change so quickly.
Shihab Rattansi there for us in Washington, D.C. Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.